Welcome to the Y&G Media Newsroom. I'm Matt Ott, and I'm joined with Laura Davis, Garrett Sargent, and behind the camera, Neil Abadier. The Media Program Area creates news content for Y&G's website, app, TV network, magazine, and social media accounts. Delegates will develop skills in journalism, technology, and leadership.
Delegates will form news teams of 12 to work on what in the industry we call a beat. That can be something like the Senate, the Supreme Court, or Y&G culture. They will work together as a news team to hit their daily deadlines and present their stories across all platforms. Delegates who are in the media program have the freedom to go into any program area, and they make their own schedules outside of the morning meeting and the evening deadline.
Within their news team, delegates will be assigned various roles, such as producer, videographer, photographer, news editor, video editor, reporter, and social media correspondent.
The news the teams create will be shared across a variety of platforms. Online on the Y&G site, as well as the app, on YouTube as video content, printed in our Sunday full-color magazine, as well as our social media accounts.
The media program also produces the Youth Governors Debate. It's a great opportunity for delegates looking to gain experience in moderating, as well as multi-camera shooting and editing.
In addition to the news teams, there are also several exciting leadership opportunities available for delegates who wish to apply. First off, we have our executive producer who handles our daily evening newscast. There's also our editor-in-chief who handles all the updates to our website, and our social media editor who maintains all of our social accounts. There's also two technical leadership positions. One is the technical director of video, who maintains our cameras and edit bays, as well as our technical director of online, who maintains our website. If you're interested in any of these leadership positions, contact your advisor and ask for an application.
Thanks for watching. Here's a quick compilation of amazing work by our former delegates.
Good evening, Youth in Government. I'm Saral Badood.
And I'm Jesse Zand, and this is Y-Witness News. Earlier today, opening joint session kicked off this year's SAC. Let's take a look.
Earlier this morning, delegates suited up for opening joint session. After listening to Sam Leishinger's opening speech, we heard from Secretary of State candidates who gave their final campaign speeches, as well as led a question and answer section. Along with listening to our own delegates, we also heard from Assembly members Raul Bocanegra and Ken Cooley.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much for that very warm reception and the clap on the way in. I want to thank you for that.
A great beginning for what's looking like a great Sacramento.
I'm so lucky my beautiful, intelligent co-anchor covered for me while I was at joint session. I don't know what I'd do without you.
I don't know what you'd do without me either, Sarab.
Meanwhile, in the Olympics earlier today in Sochi, the men's slopestyle ski team swept the podium, winning 3 medals, which the U.S. has only done twice before in the Winter Olympics.
This victory puts USA's medal count at 4 gold, 2 silver, and 6 bronze.
USA, baby.
Thanks for that, Sarab.
Court is now in session. Today is decision day for the DiCarlo case. After 3 days of deliberation and research, the judges will now be ready to give their final decision. Their job throughout Sacramento has been to hear the evidence brought forth from the appellants. As the appellants rise and fall to give their opinions, the judges take note of all the facts, research, and evidence of the case. It's a tough job for the judges. Win or lose, the judge can't please everyone. The judge's job is to remain unbiased and determine the right outcome after all is said and done. Their decisions can set precedents for future cases to come and can affect the future of the court system. Like every other delegate, the appellants and judges came here to Sacramento in the name of democracy. And after today, the decision will be made. This has been Carson Lester with Y-Witness News.
Coming back to Y&G sounds like a really rewarding experience.
Yeah, it's definitely something to look into, especially being a senior.
My time in Y&G has gone by too fast.
Hey, perk up, Buttercup. You're not alone.
Let's take a look at some other seniors reflecting on their time in Y&G.
Hi, I'm Leonardo Newmeyer reporting on senior delegates coming back as volunteers or interns. According to several senior delegates, the role of volunteers and interns strongly impact the Youth and Government program, as they believe that several seniors should return what was given to them to the next generation of seniors so the tradition would go on.
When I leave Youth and Government, I definitely think I'm going to be coming back in the future, if not in the next couple of years, because I think that this program really gives youth the opportunity to get involved And I think one of the biggest criticisms of our generation is that we aren't involved and we are apathetic, and I definitely want to change that. And beyond that, I would like to expand youth and government to places that don't actually have delegations yet.
I would love to come back to youth and government, hopefully as an advisor, because my little brother's a freshman right now, and I want to see him go through the program as well.
I think volunteers and interns impact the program by doing basically all the little things that kids don't even notice, like bringing candy to delegates when they're in session, or doing just little things. It's really important to the program.
Overall, senior delegates are strongly considering and returning to this program as interns or volunteers, as they strongly believe in the next generation and having the best experience within and out of the youth and government program. This is Renata Umar signing off.
Change is good.
Speaking of change, we'll soon say so long to Lena Gavenes and welcome in a new youth governor.
I know who I'm voting for. Who will you be checking off on your ballot?
Good morning, Y&G, and welcome to Election Day here in Sacramento. Polls opened at 8 a.m. this morning, and tonight we'll know the name of our 68th youth governor. Who are you voting for?
I'm voting for Nicholas Garner because I feel like he's a very well-spoken candidate. I feel like he's had his humble origins, and I really respect him, and I think he can bring real change to this program.
Well, I definitely didn't really know who I was going to vote for until the candidates came and talked to us in our individual sessions. When we got to see them in a more intimate setting, it really helped a lot in deciding.
I'm voting for Ted Goldstein. I really believe in his platform. He really believes in individuality, and it's something that I promote, personally. So.
I voted for Chris Ford this morning. I voted for Chris because he was a really good speaker on stage, and off the stage he just seemed like a really likable and personable person.
The method of campaigning that makes me most likely to vote for someone is probably how approachable they are, and when they speak to sessions, that's kind of really important to me. So
I definitely learned a lot about Riley Owen when he came to our session to inform us about his platform, and it made him a much more personable candidate and made me much more likely to vote for him.
I am voting for Julia Kahn. I feel like she is the only delegate that I have seen that has actively pursued making her platform a reality, whereas the other delegates just promise things that they never end up keeping. It was really helpful to, listen to the delegates say their speeches. So I would have to say that the speeches are the biggest part of campaigning.
Be sure to check out the governor's debate also posted on this website. Thank you for tuning in. This has been Allie Handel with Y Daily News signing off.
Hi, we are here today with the director of the California Emergency Team with a new update of the simulation. On February 13th, Mike Sickley was arrested and detained after his plane landed in Sacramento from Los Angeles. He was arrested on suspicion of having the Ebola virus. The California Emergency Team went to present the bill at the Senate and Assembly chambers in the Capitol.
The emergency bill amends the requirements to detain any persons who have come in contact with those who are infected with the Ebola virus in order to prevent further outbreak of the disease.
The bill was to help quarantine people who are infected with the Ebola virus. Mike Sickley brought the Ebola virus to California and spread it to another California citizen, Sally Jane. Sally Jane's parents did not let her to be quarantined out of fear of mental illness. Later that day, the emergency team presented at the Form Senate and Assembly. The bill passed in Senate but did not pass in Assembly. The director of the California Emergency Team, Savannah Pierce, gave us updates about the Ebola outbreak.
There's a confirmed 5,600 cases as of last night, and this went to the youth governor, and she appointed a health czar named, his name is Nate Rowe, and we are currently focusing on finding a solution to the emergency.
The California Emergency Team is still waiting on the response from the Supreme Court. They will know the result of the Supreme Court ruling at 3 o'clock today. Thank you for keeping up with the news simulation presented by California Emergency Team. For more news information, go visit ydailyvoice.com.
Although many of the proposals in CONCON deal with serious issues, many others do not. Delegates have the opportunity to create some out-of-the-box proposals. I spoke to a few of these delegates about their unique ideas. Let's check it out. And what is your proposal about?
Our proposal was to make Chipotle the official restaurant of the state of California.
And the reason why we did this is because Chipotle promotes healthy food and it creates jobs for Americans. And we decided that the diverse kind of food that it provides accurately reflects the diversity of the state of California.
So the idea of the proposal was that if legislation is passed on a specific gender, then at least 60% of the votes would have to be from that gender. So that way, the legislation, the people voting on the legislation would be, the majority vote would be of the people most affected by the legislation.
And the reason why we use the term gender instead of people or anything else is because we really felt that this was like a global issue. It isn't just that this is affecting females. It isn't just that it's affecting males. It's also, non-binary people, transgendered people, and we felt like that was really relevant.
All right, so my proposal is essentially establishing a Bill of Rights for all non-human animals residing in the state of California.
It's about having this California state legislature be led by a supreme leader.
It's to make prostitution a legitimate business where they will receive proper compensation, safety from STDs and other dangers of that occupation, and just to make sure that they are safe and that the population is safe.
From Chipotle to prostitution, these delegates know how to have a little fun. This is Haley Tangent reporting to you from Sacramento.
Can you con? Oh my God.